Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Bytes, where we discuss all things crypto, airdrop, DeFi, and more. I'm Brian, and today we're going to be diving into one of the hottest narratives happening right now in October 2024, and that is SUI. SUI is L1 blockchain, and they've been having a lot of momentum recently, so let's dive in. All right, so yeah, as you can see here on DeFi Llama, the TVL on Sui has just been going crazy, especially in the last 1 or 2 weeks where it's almost just straight up in the air. And this is based off of um, both Sui and USD. It's just going crazy. So both the price of Sui and the TVL has just been going like crazy. Now, I first started using Sui maybe back in February, March of this year, 2024. And at the time, my main reasoning was, it was rumored that a number of protocols on there would be having airdrops relatively soon. A couple of them did. They were underwhelming to say the least. And so I kind of had just left my funds, taken some of the funds that I had out of Sui and moved them elsewhere. But I did leave a little bit there and have been playing around with their different applications ever since then. And now that things are going crazy there again, I thought it was a good time maybe to revisit and also share with you some of my favorite plays there at the moment. So the first protocol that I believe has the highest TVL is Navi protocol. So Navi is just a lending and borrowing platform. Like I said, I took almost all my funds out of here. I just left a tiny bit amount, but basically you can supply SUI and a couple other different tokens, borrow USDC, USDT, and yeah, it's just your traditional um, money market. There's two more money markets we're going to go into right after this one. Navi's not my favorite. I'll tell you which one is my favorite. But one interesting thing that Navi does have, for those of you that might want to have, you want to have some allocation to Sui, but not, have be over allocated. And that's these two yield strategies that they have here, where basically you can deposit VSUI or HaSUI, and these are, they're liquid staking tokens, and there might be potential airdrops in play for using either of those. There's no concrete details that I'm aware of just yet, but basically what these is you can deposit VSUI in here, and then it'll do a looping borrow against SUI onto that. So you kind of have a delta neutral SUI leveraged position here that gets you a little bit of APY, nothing crazy, but you do have the exposure to SUI and potential airdrop opportunities here. So if you were going to use Navi protocol, I'd use it for this. There's better opportunities as far as lending and borrowing. Let's go into the next one. The next one is Suilend. So Suilend is, I believe they originally started with Suilend on Solana, and this is a new money market that they've added on Sui maybe 6-8 months ago, not too long. They do have a points program running right now with the airdrop, but I've thus far chosen to not really get involved because I deposited heavily on Suilend and their airdrop was dust. It was almost nothing compared to what was deposited in there and for how long I had it. So I don't really believe that they're going to have a good airdrop here, and their APRs and APYs are not the best either. So uh, this is probably my least favorite lending market on Sui, but it is an option, and I think they're the second or third highest TVL out of any app on Sui. So it is an option, but yeah, not for me at the moment. What I have been using is Scallop. So Scallop is another lending market on Sui. They did have an airdrop earlier this year that was underwhelming as well. That said, I think that they might be gearing up for a round two. And also their rates are better than the other two lending markets from what I've seen. So here, since I wanted exposure to SUI, what I've done is I've just simply deposited into the SUI pool, and then with that, I'm getting about 5% APY in the Scallop token, SCA, I believe it is, for that deposit. And then I'm just borrowing USDC, swapping that into more SUI, and then I've just done a manual looping here. With this, you're paying 14% borrowing fee, but you're getting 10.3% in rewards back in SUI. So for almost break even, I can loop through and have a net APR of, looks like about 10% overall. So this allows me to have exposure to SUI. I have a decent APR rate, and then also potentially a future airdrop round that they might do. I'm gearing up for that too. So those are the three lending markets, my favorite being Scallop, like I mentioned. Next up are some of the DEXs on SUI. So the first one, which I believe has the most TVL out of all the DEXs, is Cetus. Now, with them, I did use them for quite a while back earlier this year, and they have, as you can see, are quite nice APYs at some, for depending on the different pools. So you have like a SUI pool, USDC pool, 278. You have a Hippo SUI pool, so if you want to get a little bit more degen, you can get a pretty decent APY there as well. So they have these. They also have their own token. I don't think that they are going to be doing any future airdrops, but they might. Nothing that I'm aware of points to that. But yeah, the APYs are really nice here, and they're kind of the #1 DEX on SUI at the moment. So if you're looking for some place that has been around for a while and has good APYs, Cetus would be a good option. The next one is Kriya DEX. So they have also been around for a while. They've had 2 rounds of airdrops already so far. Again, underwhelming, unfortunately. But if you go to their airdrop tab now, it looks like they might be gearing up for something again soon. So TBD on that one. With Kriya, they have some good APYs, as you can see here, pretty amazing. And then the other thing that they have recently introduced a few months back are these different strategies. So kind of just like I showed you on Navi, they also have some of these looping possibilities, which they actually pay a little bit better APY than Navi. So you might even want to look at this instead, since it looks like they're gearing up for another airdrop here. Yeah, you can do these different looping strategies, or they do LP rebalancing. So they take some of the pools that I just showed you on Cetus as an example, and then they just rebalance them as needed to try and maximize your APY. So you can get some pretty good APYs here. And yeah, that's pretty much Kriya, which is another great option. Turbos is another DEX on SUI. They also have already had an airdrop. They have their own token. I'm not sure if they're really doing any other airdrops now. They do do like incentivized pools and giveaways. So that's probably the main way that they're going to be looking to, further distribute their token. But, just like the other DEXs, they have some pretty high APRs on different pools. On Turbos, you kind of get more, they have more exposure to like the different memes on SUI. So if you're looking to get a little bit more degen and aggressive and want to get some nice APYs, then Turbos I think is probably a better bet for you than Cetus or Kriya. But yeah, they're all great options so far. My favorite, and the one that I've shifted all of my TVL over to that's not in Scallop right now, is AlphaFi. So they have, well, you can see right here, the pool that I'm in is just amazing APY here, 6,800. It's been that way for a few weeks now, so it's quite crazy. But basically, they have what they're calling an airdrop, but they're doing that in incentivizing these pools. So the more you deposit, the longer you hold. you get the airdrop. You then need to, when you collect what you've earned, you then need to stake it. And then, once it goes past the lock period, you can, take it out and then sell it if you want. You can see here that, let's see, I just did this right before this video, so that means their staking period is 90 days. And then if you want to unlock it instantly, you can do that with a 50% penalty. So I'm just going to leave it in there, just given how strong Sui's been recently. But yeah, by far this one, well, all the dexes on Sui have amazing APRs. This one by far is just crazy, and they're pretty much just leveraging what's on both Cetus and Navi, it looks like. So yeah, that's what I've been focused on. Last but not least, I did farming on this one earlier in the year. I haven't really done too much since. They've been planning an airdrop for a while now, but they haven't actually done it yet. I think we're getting pretty close, and that's on this Bluefin. It's a perps dex. They allow you to both trade perps, or you can also deposit in liquidity pools. I pretty much was just using them to farm with because, as you can see, they don't really have this is all that they have as options as far as what you can trade with on here. So the only ones I might be interested are some of the SUI and the majors. But then they also have these pools that you can deposit money in and earn a little bit of APY on as well. So that's Bluefin. If you are a perps dex trader, I wouldn't recommend necessarily depositing in these vaults, but what I would recommend if you are looking for something kind of just hands off and leaving it alone is using Elixir. So I'm going to do a full video on Elixir soon because there's a lot more to it, but basically Elixir is a platform that it provides liquidity to a variety of different perps dexes, and so you can deposit on here in all these different pools on Sui as an example, and just like the other dexes, like their APYs are quite amazing, and in these you're depositing with USDC, so you're earning the yield on USDC, and just like if you're familiar with JLP on Jupiter and Solana, these are you're basically backing this trading pair on Bluefin, so you're acting as the house. So if traders are winning, this APY is going to go down. You could potentially lose money, but overall, these APYs have been pretty strong for a number of months now. So it's a nice place to park your USDC and get some pretty good APY. And then by doing this, you're both qualifying for the Bluefin airdrop and Elixir's airdrop. So you're getting a two for one airdrop, and then also very quite nice high APYs here too. So that is pretty much what's going on with Sui. So yeah, just to recap, what I've been doing is focused on depositing some of my funds in Scallop, looping Sui with USDC to maximize my exposure there with a little bit of leverage. And then I've taken that, deposited some funds into AlphaFi for the great APY that they're doing, and then also taking some funds and putting it here into Elixir to take advantage of the 2-for-1 airdrop, and then the quite nice APYs here too. So I believe that there's going to be a lot more growing on Sui over the coming weeks and months. So we'll probably do a part 2 series soon. But for now, as of October 2024, that's my play here, and hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks again, everyone, and until next time, happy farming.